welcome. Woo.
I like it.
Yeah. 2020 has arrived. Welcome to the 2020 First Robotics Competition Kickoff, coming to you live from the home of First in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm Blair from First Headquarters.
And I'm DJ Knight from Twitch. Thank you for joining us at one of the over 160 local kickoffs taking place around the world. We have nearly 3,900 teams who are eager to see this year's game.
Now, this season, the First Rise, powered by Star Wars, Force for Change, inspires us to work together to strengthen and protect the force that binds us all. And together, as a global community, we will rise if we think deeply, collaborate inclusively,
share generously, in keeping with the spirit of First, our gracious professionalism at the forefront of everything we do.
And with the recent passing of Woody Flowers, who gave rise to gracious professionalism, we want you to strengthen your resolution to keep GP at the forefront of everything that you do.
This year's Infinite Recharge Challenge, which we'll be unveiling soon, is unprecedented in scale. And as you can see behind us, its core element is powerful.
Now, think of this pulsing energy back here as a manifestation of the collective wisdom and the strength, the experience, the intelligence, the creativity of the First community.
In fact, the energy level of First teams is what's needed to make this year's game truly successful.
Energy, energy, energy. You're going to provide a lot of energy in this year's game. And we got a lot of energy this year, too, some from friends. Our friends at Disney and Lucasfilm are right behind you, cheering on your success. So right now, let's hear from them.
Hello, First Robotics competition teams.
We're so excited that this year Disney and Lucasfilm have teamed with First as part of the Star Wars Force for Change philanthropic initiative.
Daisy, John, and I, yes, and BB-8 and Dio are happy to welcome you to today's event.
For the last 4 decades, Star Wars has inspired generations and audiences around the world to imagine the impossible and to find the hero within themselves.
As a robotics community, First has done the same for millions of students, creating a movement to prepare young people for the future.
Here's a very good friend of ours to share more about this year's season and your program challenge.
BB-8, just wait 1 second and you'll find out who it is.
Hello, First teams. I'm Mark Hamill, and welcome to the 2019-2020 season. Through this year's theme, First Rise, powered by Star Wars Force for Change, we're exploring what it takes to build a stronger, more sustainable future. And together, we will shape the First City to thrive today and stand the test of time. As First City grows and rises into the stars, we collect the energy around us to fuel our ascent and secure our future. Because energy not only powers our city, it protects it. In Infinite Recharge, forces threaten the future of First City, and together we must shield our greatest resources from dangers to protect the citizens, culture, and history of our planet. With assistance from your trusty droids, you and your crew will race to overcome obstacles and collect renewable energy cells to charge your city's shield generator and protect First City. Through the power of collaboration, you'll bring hope and strengthen the force that binds us all so that together we rise.
Thanks, Mark.
We can't wait to see how you and your teams have learned to work together to tackle the challenges facing First City this season.
Good luck, and of course, may the Force be with you.
A big thanks to them for all their help with the challenge this year. And you got a couple of teasers in there, didn't you? You heard about power cells and shield generators, and I wonder what that could mean. We have a speaker here. Well, he's new to First headquarters. He's only been in Manchester about a month, but he's not new to First. He was on the First scene in New York City for many years, helping down there. Please welcome the new president of First, Larry Cohen.
Thank you, Blair. I'm so thrilled to be here. The energy in this room is intense, and I know everyone is excited to see this year's game. As Blair mentioned, I started only recently in this new role, but I've been part of the FIRST community for the last 10 years. I caught the FIRST fever back then at the New York City Regional Championship. And just like all of you, the students I met were enthusiastic and impressive, and it was an incredible experience. I saw an opportunity for my team to work and to partner with FIRST as mentors and volunteers. And I've been inspired by their response. The employee mentors and volunteers are highly engaged, and we developed long-lasting relationships with educators and students, and some FIRST alumni returned as interns and employees. For the last 10 years, I've also been part of the leadership team for FIRST in New York City, on the executive advisory board, as a corporate sponsor, and as a founding board member of New York City FIRST. I've seen the outstanding and profound impact that FIRST programs have in our community. I'm honored to build on the success of the last 30 years and continue our mission to make FIRST programs available to every student. This is a very exciting year for FIRST. We're partnering with Lucasfilm and Disney to inspire the next generation of heroes and innovators. Our entire FIRST Rise season is powered by Star Wars, Force for Change. How awesome is that, right? This is so great. Inspired by Star Wars Galaxy and our own global community, we're working together to use technology and the power of our brains to build a stronger, more sustainable city, in infinite recharge and in our world. For many of you, both students and mentors, these next several weeks are the busiest weeks you'll have all year. Mentors, thank you for devoting your valuable time to inspiring your students. And students, I hope you'll tackle this season by working together to explore new skills and ideas, to be innovative and inclusive, to strive to make an impact, and of course, have fun. I know you'll rise to the occasion. What you learn in FIRST will make you better prepared for the future and enable you to solve our toughest challenges. This is also a bittersweet season for the FIRST community. In the fall, we lost Dr. Woody Flowers, an extraordinary MIT educator and innovator who helped Dean develop the first robotics competition and coined the first ethos of gracious professionalism. Woody left behind a legacy of immense contributions to education and engineering, and a legacy of graciousness. He urged us all to be kind and to live a meaningful life. The FIRST community has embraced Woody's words and actions wholeheartedly, and Woody's legacy will endure in all who live their lives meaningfully and graciously, and in our ongoing commitment to empowering educators and preparing students to be global citizens. Here's a video that highlights the enduring legacy Woody has instilled in our community.
If you compete such that if your grandmother saw everything that you did on a national television program, she would be very proud, then that'll be okay.
Let's start by talking about fun. You will have fun. It will be quite intense fun, and it will mount and become joy. Joy will happen when your team says thank you, when your robot actually works. And as joy builds, before long you'll experience some happiness. And happiness is really nice, it's a big deal. Your family will see you laugh. They'll also see you grimace some because of this hard fun stuff, but it's really good. That builds and finally starts to become satisfaction. Now, satisfaction is really good stuff. We humans love that feeling. It's a big deal, but an even bigger deal is having a meaningful life. So, getting a meaningful life is really up at the top in the hierarchy of good stuff. It means you feel needed and loved. You might even find some contentment. Think of FIRST as a catalyst in a chain reaction. Each collision releases human potential, which feeds an exponential expansion of additional human potential. FIRST students seed this opportunity explosion by being informed, being creative, and thinking hard, all three, all the time. FIRST students mix objective truth and human warmth. They can be wise and be rational. They use both sides of their brain. They are our future. This is a celebration. This is good stuff.
Woody lives on through your gracious professionalism, so let's keep his spirit alive. Now, today, FIRST teams are spread out all over the world, all waiting for this game, which they will all play on identical playing fields, beginning with identical kit of parts.
You know, Blair, Kickoff is like getting two presents. First is the game, which we're going to be showing to you guys here very shortly, but second is the kit of parts.
Yeah.
So let's hear a little bit more about this year's kit of parts from Kate and Ted.
Hi, I'm Kate.
And I'm Ted, and we oversee the Kit of Parts. The 2020 Kit of Parts system is a variety of resources for teams. Before we dive into those, we want to thank all the generous donors that help make the Kit of Parts happen. Yep, Kit happens. There are 3 chunks of the Kit of Parts: the Kickoff Kit, First Choice, and the Virtual Kit. The first chunk is a Kickoff Kit. It is a set of items sent to each team, which you'll get in a few minutes. In it, you'll find the materials useful for building your infinite recharge robot, plus some things that will help you mimic field elements. One of the first things you should do is inventory your kit. If anything is missing or damaged, please let us know in your team's First Inspires account by noon this Friday.
The second chunk is called First Choice. It's an online store hosted by Andy Mark where teams can trade credits for parts. It opened in November and round 2 starts today. New items will be added and teams get more credits. So make sure you log into your team's account and make your round 2 list. Lists lock on Thursday at noon Eastern. Each team has their own login. Credentials are visible to the team's lead mentors 1 and 2 in their First Inspires registration accounts. Heads up, once you head to the First Choice by Andy Mark site, have a credit card on hand. Because teams are responsible for shipping charges, you'll need the card to unlock the priority list feature. Unused round 1 credits carry over to round 2, but credits don't carry over from season to season, so use them or lose them. Don't know what you want? Consider choosing a pre-populated list. There's one for pneumatics, control system parts, rookie teams, etc. If you want more info about using First Choice, check out this other How to First Choice video. We want to express our sincere gratitude to Andy Mark for all back-end work. They receive the items from donors, inventory them, host the site, take orders, process priority lists, and pick, pack, and ship the orders to you. It's all an in-kind donation to FIRST and an invaluable service for which we're so grateful. Thanks, Andy Mark.
The third chunk of the Kit of Parts is the Virtual Kit, which consists of software product vouchers as part of your registration fee. Think CAD, CAM, data visualization analysis, vouchers for parts, or cash on donors' websites. And new this year, cloud computing resources, hex bearings, and CAD tools. The Virtual Kit launched in November, but it's available throughout the season. For some items, you'll need your team-specific authentication code. Your lead mentors 1 and 2 can see them in their First Inspires account under Password and Vouchers Code heading. An overview of exactly what's available and details can be found in the Virtual Kit section of the Kit of Parts webpage. Make sure you pay attention to the expiration dates. They vary from donor to donor. In your Kickoff Kit, there's a tool for knowing and keeping track of Virtual Kit items. Use a voucher book and mini poster to make sure you don't let any of these resources get overlooked.
If you want to see Kickoff Kit items in action, go to the First Inspires Twitch channel tomorrow for Kickoff Kit unboxing with Ted. And be sure to familiarize yourself with the Kit of Parts webpage. Finally, we want to hear your thoughts, so thank you in advance for taking our survey later this season. Last year, we heard from a little more than 800 teams, and we love absorbing and applying what the community has to say. So let your voice be heard. Thanks for checking in, have fun with the kit, and have a great season.
All right. Once again, lots of great stuff in the kit of parts to help protect and energize First City.
Now, First City is constantly being monitored from First HQ to ensure safety and access to all First community members. In this kickoff, we've got a special treat for you.
We have a never-before-seen, behind-the-scenes look where 24/7, 365, the First Robotics Competition Situation Awareness Team is monitoring First Robotics Competition. They never leave. They're looking out for First City and for you all the time. Let's check in now with Frank and the First Situation Awareness Team.
Welcome to the 2020 Kickoff, and here to our Situation Awareness Room. Yep, this is where it all happens. We can monitor First City right from here in our highly secured, undisclosed location.
It feels a lot like the setup that First engineers use to support and monitor events during the competition season.
You can't see us, but we can see you. No podemos vernos, pero nosotros podemos verte.
Since our first competition in 1992, we have been protecting First City, and we have seen all kinds of excitement. Our community has responded to a maze craze, a rug rage, havoc, terror, trouble, some diabolical dynamics, stacks of attacks, a first frenzy, lunacy, a breakaway and a rumble, ascents, assists, rushes, a devilish stronghold, steam power, and most recently spent a lot of energy getting to deep space.
But this season, we have the most significant challenge yet, infinite recharge. This year, teams will need to work together.
Shield status?
Pinging now. The shield is still responding, but I'm not understanding it.
There's a strange depletion in Sector 7. The pressure's dropping and the compressor is not kicking in. I'm checking with the programmers.
And Nevada's showing a mutation. The shield generator's energized but not operational. First City's vulnerable.
Could be an anomaly. Check the backups. Okay, and Lone Star?
Why, that's the great state of Texas, Frank.
No, I mean, would someone turn off that blasted alarm? I mean, what is the status of Lone Star?
I can't find it, Frank. I'm having trouble with our vision systems.
What's wrong with them?
The frame rate is all wrong. I can fix that in the dashboard, but regardless, it looks like the star has disappeared or been occluded.
Disappeared? Look harder.
I'm putting myself to the fullest possible use, which is all I can think that any conscious entity can ever hope to do.
All right, focus everyone. Monitor display. Come on, where are you? You are my lucky star.
The shield's browning out.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Now is not the time for Danny Downer. Stay calm. We have untapped resources and first team standing by to assist.
The shield generator de-energized. I've got a bad feeling about this.
If we lose the shield, we will be defenseless, leaving First City vulnerable. Give me the power cell count and the generator switch position.
Defenseless?
We've averted worse disasters than this. Do you remember Recycle Rush? We just need to take some time for repairs.
No time. It appears we've encountered an asteroid assault. The asteroids are closing in fast. I've got a bad feeling about this. No me siento bien.
All right. It looks like we're going to need some help from the teams to re-energize the shield generator and protect First City. Resource assessment. Jamie?
Teams have plenty of resources available in the kit of parts.
That is a great start. We also have powerful help from our suppliers and sponsors again this year. Fiona, status on other resources?
We have an amazing volunteer pool helping us build tomorrow. They are on deck waiting further instruction.
Come be a volunteer, help build tomorrow.
Volunteering that we do for FRC, best time of my life. It's awesome.
At FRC events, there are more than 120 people that are committed to making a difference for everyone involved.
It's so rare to find somebody you're volunteering that you're so passionate about. You only find that with First.
I volunteer because I genuinely love what I do, and I love to inspire kids as much as I was inspired back when I was competing.
And you make amazing friends with these other volunteers. There's networking that happens, there's on-the-job training. It's a full gamut. There's no better way to spend a weekend.
Volunteering for FIRST is an amazing experience. As an alumni of the program, I get to experience all the new teams, all the parents, all the new students, and we always have a party with everyone here.
Come join the fun.
Is there anywhere else you'd rather be than a FIRST event? Come join the fun.
Come volunteer, help build tomorrow.
And we can always use more, especially with First City vulnerable. Naomi, what do you have?
There's another resource doing big things which we can leverage from our alumni sector.
Alumni means that I have an entire world of connections.
It allows me to volunteer and give back to the community.
I think FIRST can really prepare you to solve any number of the world's big problems. The skills that you're going to be learning can completely change the future.
We'll definitely need their drive to see this through. Danny, other assets?
If there's one person with the energy and vision to help us avert disaster, it's got to be Dean.
Of course, the founder of FIRST. Let's get Dean on the monitors.
And I'm here with the founder of FIRST, Dean Kamen.
Greetings, greetings.
Dean, in that situation awareness room, we saw there's another emergency coming up. An impact is imminent, and they're looking to you for help. Do you have any guidance you can give us?
So the first thing I can tell you is a couple of crummy little asteroids hurling towards First City. Am I worried? If you had a bet on the outcome, if you knew you had teams of smart, focused, courageous people that are going to use technology for good, little asteroids don't bother. By the way, we have a few separate teams that are conveniently here this year. I think you all know that over the years, the largest single supplier of teams among our 3,700 corporate sponsors is the United States Department of Defense. They have over 1,000. And in this room right now, I believe we have a bunch of people from the United States Air Force. Stand up wherever you are. And very conveniently, now that we know we might have a space-initiated problem, those asteroids, just a couple of weeks ago, in addition to Army, Navy, they formed a new branch of service called Space Force, and they represent them. So we have Space Force on our team now.
Just in time.
Yeah. And I believe we have a partner, Disney, Lucasfilm. You know, they know something about running around the universe, solving problems. I think R2-D2 would be a convenient person to maybe have on our side right now.
Another resource.
Another resource. So with the teams from all of our great sponsors and partners, with the teachers, the kids, I believe that our teams of FIRST will always keep us one step ahead of the catastrophes that might otherwise prevail. But I am totally confident that the teams out there by the end of this season are going to reach a very happy ending We will restore all the energy we need to those safety shields. And once again, FIRST will prove that technology properly applied will save the world.
Great. So don't give up those travel plans at the championship quite yet. Now, you worked on an invention, your day job at DECA, medical devices, and there's one device, one invention over there named the Luke arm. Now, what came first? Lucasfilm, Luke arm, Mark Hamill? Well, where did that come from?
Funny you should mention that. I've believed my whole life that there's nothing maybe cooler than real science, but to get kids to appreciate it, science fiction. And as I've said for 30 years, the only difference between science and science fiction is timing. And in every generation, people with great imaginations have some science fiction. Jules Verne, rockets. Every generation aspires to accomplish something that nobody believes is possible. They call it science fiction. The next generation, applying real science, real engineering, solves that problem. It turns out that in the first of the Star Wars episodes, you might all remember Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill lost his arm, and in the process of them fixing it, you realize it was in fact prosthetic. A few years ago, the real United States Department of Defense and DARPA asked me and my company up here to make real replacement prosthetic arms for our soldiers that have given their arms for this country. As the project developed and it started looking really good, we decided we'd call the project the Luke Arm Project, because much of what we did was being done by kids that are now scientists and engineers in the real world because they were inspired by the science fiction of Star Wars. So to me, what goes around comes around, and seeing Mark Hamill now, 30 years later, demonstrating the kind of respect and the partnership between one of the most recognized brands and bringing a force for good, bringing Disney and Lucasfilm to help FIRST become more scalable around the country and around the world is fantastic. And the Luke arm is now on dozens of our servicemen, and we're just proud of everything that's going on here.
Nice job. So being a Star Wars fan helps you on your day job as well. So that's maybe a life lesson there for our young engineers. He loves you back.
Thank you.
So now let's move on to another theme this year, which is energy. You've always had an interest in energy. If you've been to Dean's house, it's really amazing. There's a geothermal pond, there's a wind turbine. So what started that interest in energy for you?
Energy, I think most people don't really appreciate the importance. We take for granted energy, lighting, air conditioning in the summer, heat in the winter, transportation. It's well known by people that study this that access to energy in all of its forms, electricity, your computers, access to energy is the single most important determinant of standard of living and quality of life around the world. The problem is, as we move towards 8, 9, 10 billion people on this planet, if the average amount of energy consumed by those people that don't have any access to it these days came anywhere near the amount of energy we use, if you think global warming is a problem now, it would be a terrifying. So we have a terrible problem, don't we? If we want everybody to have a better quality of life and a higher standard of living, we need more and more and more access to energy. On the other hand, with more and more and more people having more and more access to energy, what does that mean, people? It means let's use renewables. Let's have more wind turbines. My house is covered with solar panels. We use geothermal. For all sorts of reasons, we all have to focus on creating technologies that will simultaneously allow everybody to have more of what we need, but do way less negative impact on our environment. And that will take real imagination. It will take real advances in basic science. It will take real advances in applied engineering. But again, as sure as I am we're going to have a happy ending to this little asteroid problem, I am quite confident that the next generation of kids coming through the FIRST program are going to create whole new industries and whole new solutions to problems that will allow us to simultaneously create a world where there's enough energy that people aren't going to be fighting over it, fighting with each other to access it. Instead, we will all do better because we will have millions by then. We now are approaching millions of kids that have come through the FIRST program that have, I think, not only the tool sets to create these new solutions, but they have the mindset and they have the vision and they have the courage, again, to use technology in the right way so that in the end, we're all going to have a better life and we're all going to deliver a better world to the next generation.
So the future is looking bright. This has been a year of transition and change at FIRST. And, you know, we've had a solid 30 plus years going on. You're saying the future's bright. You want to talk about the changes a little bit?
Well, as you heard from Larry, we have a new president. I think he's a guy that's had a business background. We're hoping that he is going to bring that kind of focus to helping us accelerate the growth of FIRST. As we said last night, Larry, the new kinder, gentler dean, I'm not expecting it in every school, only in the schools where we care about the kids, okay? So But another change we've had, as you've heard now multiple times, is we've lost, I'll say we've lost the physical Woody. We haven't lost the emotional, the intellectual, the guiding spirit. I mean, in the end, I hate to say this, people, but a person, we're all going to go, right? You know? But today, we still talk about Archimedes' principle. Archimedes' principle didn't go. The fact that we still call it Archimedes' principle, he gave us something. Ironically, things, no matter, even stone, it wears away. Steel, it rusts. The most enduring thing is an idea. Ideas don't go away. And I think while we may have lost the physical reality of Woody, you know, a body, it's just a machine to carry your head around. Your head's just a thing to carry your brains around. Your brains are just input-output device, eyes, nose. But in the end, what makes you special isn't the hardware, the software. It's the ideas that make you unique. And I think people that get involved with FIRST are becoming part of a bigger idea, an idea that it's not a zero-sum game, the idea that we can all do better by helping each other. We all are sharing a world in which if gracious professionalism permeated everything we do, if we understand as we compete to raise the bar everywhere, we're really in a cooperation, not a competition. If all the fundamental ideas that have created the FIRST community keep growing, while you say there's change this year, there are certain things that will not change, that will endure, and it's the ideas behind FIRST. And I hope not just the kids coming through it, but I hope the parents, the teachers, and the mentors that are becoming a bigger and I think more effective national and global community are going to continue to work together to spread what we're doing. And while change each year will be new games, there'll always be new technical challenges. But as long as we stay ahead of them, we'll see. I mean, I always like to come up with a relevant quote. And I think one of the great quotes of the last century in this never-ending cycle of humans trying needlessly through self-inflicted wounds like wars, while humans have maybe intermissions between those episodes. We call it history. We study all the wars. Then there's science and engineering. We study all the achievements. Well, The quote I would give you all on what change or change shouldn't be, in the middle of the last century, World War II, that was a really bad time of human behavior. But the then President of the United States, Franklin Roosevelt, said, it was pretty obvious at the time, he said, "It is clear that we cannot build the future for our children. We had better build our children for the future." And I think what we're seeing here, and it's almost symbolically, and there's asteroids hurling at First City. What can we do? We can get together in teams. We can create new technical solutions to stay ahead of what otherwise would be catastrophic problems. So I think change is inevitable. It really is, and it's appropriate. If it's done right, that change is called innovation. If it's done right, that change will allow us to have a better future. There are pessimists out there always, and every time there's change, they look for the downs. I've heard people today in modern time claiming that robots are going to destroy jobs. Robots are going to, they're terrible. Are you kidding me? Those are probably the same people that during the great, I don't know, in every era of time, in the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, oh no, a steam shovel, a bulldozer. It's going to take away all the jobs of those ditch diggers. I'm sorry. The amount of stuff we can move with a bulldozer is so much more than what a person could do with a shovel. It might have removed all the jobs of the ditch diggers, but it didn't put them out of work because we didn't just build little things. We started building superhighways. We started doing things you could never have done before. And there are way more jobs for people that can design bulldozers, build bulldozers, drive bulldozers. But every new technology can either be seen by a pessimist as something bad because the changes, or it can be seen as an opportunity to go places and do things that we never even imagined. It was science fiction to your father and your grandfather. And today, these people that claim that robots, technology are going to eliminate jobs, yeah, they'll eliminate the boring, dangerous, frustrating jobs that we didn't want to do. Humans shouldn't be going into humans, I mean, think about the fact that if a robot can do a job that didn't require, I mean, every company I know, every tech company I know, not just the 3,700 sponsors we have, but every company I know is desperate. They can't find enough. My little company, I got 800 engineers. I need 100 right now. By the way, give me your resumes. And summer interns will take you too. My point is, if you're a pessimist, you see the downside of everything. If you're a realist, not an optimist, a realist, when you look at the new technologies we're developing today, whether it's robotics, artificial intelligence, machine vision, you name it, they're not only going to create whole new categories of jobs and new industries and solutions to problems that otherwise would have been impossible to solve. We are going to create a future for those people that are prepared for it, for those people that have come through first, for those people that understand how to apply technology properly, how to work in complex environments on complex problems under a lot of hype. I mean, FIRST is nothing but a microcosm of the real world. Every company out there is saying, I got to work faster, I got to work better, I don't know what my competitors are going to do, I got to ship this thing on time. You get to do that, but if your robot fails, you get to laugh about it. You get to learn from it. In the real world, I build medical equipment, we build life support equipment. We can't exactly laugh about it. So what you're doing is the best of all worlds. You're getting to see a microcosm of what your future can be if you're prepared for it. If you want to be a pessimist and you want to think the past was better than the future, you want to be afraid of technology, well, you can. I can't fix that. I think the FIRST community will fix that. And if the FIRST community has a loud enough voice to our government leaders, to our industry leaders, to our educational institutions, if we can make it clear to the world that technology is going to keep moving faster and faster and faster, that's not an issue. It's going to keep moving. Your choice is not to slow it down or not. That's not an option. You can be on that bus or you can be under that bus. Those are the only two options. And if you want to be on the bus, using technology as it gives us more capability, the only other thing I'll ask, and that's why gracious professionalism and cooperation is so important, is once you have these powerful tools of newer technologies, artificial intelligence, machine learning, you have to make sure that you use those powerful resources you have as a tool and not a weapon. You have to use them for the general good. And I recognize that there are people out there that might want to do it other ways. That's why I think while we all want to use it as tools, and we want a world where the lion will sleep with the lamb, I still want to be the lion. I think the good people, the good government, the good industry, have to recognize that we have to be careful, that we have to not be naive. But the change will always come down to, can good people, using technology and the power it delivers to us, can we use it to stay ahead of natural disasters like incoming asteroids? Can we use it to prevent man-made disasters from letting evil conquer good? I mean, one of the reasons I love the fact that Disney and Lucasfilm is partnering with us, they are almost symbolic in saying a force for good. They're symbolic in getting people to realize through science fiction what's possible in the future, turn it into real science. But they're there always in every episode they have. When you think about it, it comes down to something as simple as it's good against evil. And good always wins in science fiction, and we've got to make sure good always wins in science, in reality. And the first community, in my mind, is the best shot at ensuring that that happens around this country and around the world.
Great. So it's always fascinating to hear Dean's perspective on the future, and change is opportunity, and but the asteroid attack is coming, Dean.
I'm betting on our teams.
We got to move on. All right, I have one final question before we unveil the field. Just one. I've always wanted to ask this question, and not just me. Social media is out there. First is on social media. We hear a lot of different people who want to know this question. You ready for it?
No.
What? There's something going on in the house. What is?
Oh, my old friend is here.
It's R2D2.
It's R2D2.
Come on down.
R2.
R2, welcome to the kickoff.
We're going to depend on you for your prior experience with asteroids.
You've been all around the universe, but you've never been to a first kickoff before. How does this compare?
I agree.
I think that means good. We need a little help, though. We've got one last thing to do, and that is unveil this playing field. Can you help, Dean?
All right.
We're going to count it down. The audience will help us. Are you ready?
to the 2020 First Robotics Competition and this year's game, Infinite Recharge. An incoming asteroid shower is aimed at First City. Using Alliance droids, planetary citizens collect and score power cells while traversing the trench run and boundaries to ensure maximum protection with an operational shield generator. Droids start on an initiation line and may be preloaded with up to 3 power cells. Droids operate autonomously during the first 15 seconds and attempt to score power cells into any of their 3 available power ports. While every power cell deposited adds equal charge to the shield generator, higher power ports earn more points. Drivers then control their droids for 2 minutes and 15 seconds of teleoperated time. Power cells are collected from one of the 5 chutes in the loading bay and then driven across the city to be scored in the low, outer, and inner ports. Droids must score the required number of power cells to activate sections of their shield generator and then either rotate their control panel a specified number of times or position it to a specific color. Near the end of the match, droids race to their rendezvous point to make their shield generator operational. Alliances are awarded bonus points for a level generator switch. The alliance that earns the most points wins the match. May the Force be with us all.
This field is awesome.
So many cool field elements, right?
Yeah.
And the autonomous period is back.
Autonomous is back, ladies and gentlemen. And now we have someone, he's direct from that first situation awareness room. Please welcome First Robotics Program Competition Director, Frank Merrick.
Blair, we are so excited for this game. We're so excited. Look, R2-D2 on the field. How cool is that? That is awesome. We want to say thanks to a couple of our sponsors. They contribute so much to us. First up, Disney and Lucasfilm been so generous this year, and as you can see from R2-D2 here, and just the theme of the field, the Star Wars theme of the field, we could not have done this without them. And of course, also, quick shout out to National Instruments. They are so critical to everything we do here in First Robotics Competition. I think it's fair to say that we would not be the competition we are without them. And one more talk, of course, it wouldn't be Kickoff without talking a little bit about safety. Safety is priority number 1 in everything that we do in First. So please be safe out there. Please be safe off the field. Please be safe on the field. Very important. You want to stay healthy. And when you're on the field especially, you take a look at the size of this shield generator. This thing is huge. Please, please be very careful around it. Also, one final thing, just want to say good luck to all the teams out there, especially the over 400 rookies that we have worldwide. Over 400 rookies. So be safe, have fun, work hard, and we'll see you at the competitions.
Thank you, Frank. Now, teams, we know you want to ask questions about the field, and we want to fill you in on them. So if you are at home watching, make sure to type in the Twitch chat !Q followed by your question. And once we get done doing the field tour, we'll get to answering those.
And remember that all of the rules, the dimensions are in the manual, and we will unlock the manual too in just a bit, along with the virtual field. That code will be released. But first, we're going to take a tour of the field. We will post all of the longer field tour videos on Twitch and on YouTube in a bit, so you can check those out as well. But this is just sort of an overview, and we're going to start with the shield generator over here. Hello, I've got Kelly.
Hi, Blair. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy Kickoff.
Happy Kickoff.
Okay, this is the shield generator. Mark Hamill mentioned it. Yes. This is what he was talking about.
This is what he was talking about.
So why don't you take us through like the overall structure of this?
Yeah, so the overall structure is made out of just standard entertainment truss, and the shield generator makes up is made up with the generator switches. There's 2, 1 per alliance. They have hard stops that give a hard limit on their position. We also have some boundaries on the ground and some floor protection. So it's important to note all of that is part of the shield generator.
So the boundaries on the ground, they are part of the rendezvous points?
The rendezvous point, yes. So the red rendezvous point is defined with the red boundaries, and the blue rendezvous point is defined with the blue boundaries. Now you can see there's some power cells that start on the boundaries. You should check out the game manual for all the information on where those power cells start at the beginning of the match.
So let's talk about these generator switches. What are we doing with them?
All right, so the generator switches are really cool and something we haven't seen before. We've seen teeter-totters before, and this is not like a teeter-totter. So these pivot back and forth on that bar there at the top, and they have kind of 2 different ranges. There's a level range, and then you can hit your hard stops, which is your maximum and minimum range. So when you're up against the hard stop here, you'll notice that this bottom corner is above your robot starting configuration. So if you keep your robot in starting configuration, you'll always clear underneath the generator switch. What that also means is you're probably going to have to get out of that starting configuration if you're ever going to interact with the rung and hang on this generator switch.
Got it. All right, so the shield generator has these lighting pieces, those elements as well. What are those all about?
So these lights are activated at different stages in the match. And so you're going to want to check out the game manual for more information on that. And also make sure you check out the field tour video for the information on the dynamics of the generator switch. We go into a little bit more detail there.
Awesome. It really is awesome. All right.
It is.
Nice job, Kelly.
Thanks so much, Blair.
I'm going to send it over to DJ and Ted now at the PowerPort.
Thank you, Blair. Now, I'm here with Ted from the game design team. Now, Ted, I'm looking at the PowerPort. I would love a quick rundown of what it does.
Sure. So the PowerPort is the area on the field where teams can take the power cells that they collect and deposit them for points. There are 3 areas that they can do that. The bottom port, which is the rectangle down below, the outer port, which is the hexagon, and you'll notice that the bottom 3 sides are actually outlined in reflective tape, and that allows the robot to target the goal. And then the inner port, which may be hard to see from the side of the field, but straight on, you can see back inside, you'll see that circle.
So it's giving teams the ability to have a robot that can kind of come back, like fire out, maybe reach up, throw it in there. But it's kind of way back there. So is it possible to throw in a power cell and it come out?
It is possible. Hopefully, most of the shots will actually go into the outer port, but there is a chance that it could bounce out. So based on how hard it is, the angle, I'm going to try to demonstrate. No, missed. So the angle on the top actually helps deflect it back into the middle port and actually keep it inside.
Awesome, awesome. So let's pass over to Blair back at the control panel.
All right, I'm over here at the control panel with Amanda.
Happy kickoff.
Happy kickoff. Now, the control panel looks a little like the Wheel of Fortune dial, but it's not. This is your baby, right? This is yours. Tell me about it. It spins, right?
It spins. So this is the control panel, and this is a unique field element we have this year where teams are going to have to actually interact in different ways to kind of unlock different achievements on the field.
So how hard does it spin? Let's see.
Not at all. You can do it with your hand.
Yep. Does it free spin?
Yeah. It will keep spinning on its own. The Lazy Susan does have a little friction in it, so we'll slow it down eventually.
So there's a Lazy Susan in it. I can imagine the teams at home thinking, how are we going to replicate this? How will they replicate that?
Well, they're in luck. In their kit, they're actually going to have the exact Lazy Susan that we use on the field.
All right.
As well as the exact same vinyl colors that we use on the wheel to vision process. So they can look at the exact same print at the exact same time that we printed our vinyl.
So during the game, how does a team know what color they have to move it to?
So that's the second of 2. You're getting a little ahead.
Oh, the first one is spin it how many times?
Spin it, you have to check the manual for that. But the first challenge, like you said, is rotation. So it's going to be how many full rotations they completed the wheel. When they get to the second level with the control panel, they're going to have to set it to a certain color. And they'll only know what color they have to send it to once they get there, and FMS will tell them what color.
FMS assigns it.
Yep, each alliance may get a different color.
Okay, interesting. All right. Now, one other thing about this is that these bolt heads aren't the same color as the colors of each of the triangles.
Correct. We want to make sure teams are aware that there's plenty of space on here to look for the color. Avoid the bolt heads because they are not the same color as the wheel.
Great. Any last things about the control panel?
Yeah, it's really cool that this image is also duplicated on the bottom, and it's clear through, so you can look from the top or the bottom in order to see what you're looking at.
Super cool.
It's awesome.
People wanted a new element, and they've got one. All right, we're going to send it over to DJ now at the loading bay with Malcolm.
All right, right back at the loading bay, we've got Malcolm and Fiona from the game design team. Thank you for being here. Now, give us a quick rundown about how the loading bay works.
Howdy, DJ. So loading bay is pretty simple. So we have 5 ports here, so 1, 2, 3 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And teams load balls into the ports, and they go into the field.
So it looks like they have a pretty decent distance that they can travel. Is there a way for a team to kind of like force the balls in to go faster?
You can try as hard as you want. You put them in there, the ball is going to go about the same distance every time.
Now, one of the things I like about the field element is that the cells are not air-filled like you would expect them to be, so that kind of limits their ability to move as well. But is there anything that can help these teams out when it comes to loading, when it comes with the chutes?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you notice that there's a higher one and 2 lower ones. So when you can get flush with this, but be wary because there's a corner station this year, and it's harder to get flush with that edge over on the side here. Whereas this one you can also get flush with because this is parallel as well.
Indeed. Now, what are the racks for? Can we get a little quick rundown of that?
So the racks are really important. So this is where you store power cells from when you take them from the corral after they've been stored in the power port. So you take them and you put them on the rack, and this helps everyone have a good visualization to know how many balls are back there. Read the manuals to know the exact count.
Definitely. Now I'm going to reiterate, read the manual, read the manual, read the manual.
Great stuff. Really interesting field. The detailed field tour videos will be played at the end of our show after another game animation and also be posted online, YouTube and Twitch as well. Read the manual and check out those field tour videos.
Now, after we reveal the game manual and the virtual field code, we're going to roll the credits, and we're going to come right back here onto this field. So if you're watching at home or if you're here and you have Twitch loaded up, exclamation Q, space your questions in the chat. So when we come back, we can answer your questions.
So this is our final segment we're moving into. So for our audience here in Manchester, we invite you to come closer to the field if you'd like. Go pick up your kit of parts and start brainstorming and building a robot. Or stay right where you are and watch the final segment. We're going to roll the credits in just a second, which include the field code, the code reveal. But we need a little help, and we've got a little help. R2, welcome back. All right. One more time. Let's count it down to the code reveal. Are you ready? I think that's yes.
Can we get some help?
3,
2, 1. Hi, Jay. Jay didn't see me. Jay's gone.
Okay, we are back on the Infinite Recharge playing field now. We are going to answer questions from the Twitch chat. I'm here with Jamie, Amanda, Kelly. DJ has Malcolm and Ted. And we're going to answer your questions. The first question is from Where's My Water Game? The question is, what is used to measure if the robots are hanging level? Amanda?
So that's a good question. This year, we use Rockwell sensors to determine which way is level, and the lights will signal when it's level or not. You'll see more details about that in the field tour.
And can we see those lights? Where are they?
The stack lights are, they're kind of in the back.
Cool. All right. Good. We'll send it over to DJ.
We've got a question from Sky Candy 0509 that asks, are the power cells squishy or hard plastic?
That's an awesome question. So as you can see, as I'm squeezing this, they're pretty squishy, but also have a little bit of backing to it. So keep in mind with that when you design your robots.
So it's almost like a foam.
Almost like a foam.
Okay.
All right. We're back with another question. Furry Slime asks, will the wheel be set at the same point at the start of each game? Jamie?
Thanks, Blair. This is Jamie, and you can see that the wheel does move pretty easily, and you want to read the manual really carefully to get details about how the field is going to be set up, both with robot design, robot setup, and your power cell setup.
Okay, back to DJ.
All right. Next question is from Cobalt Tetra that asks, how many game objects may you hold at a time?
So during the game, you can hold up to 5 power cells at one time.
5 power cells at once?
Correct.
That's a lot of power cells. All right, back to Blair with the next question.
Okay, our question is, what direction and position does the control panel need to be set to be considered selected color?
So for more details on that, that's in the field manual after FMS sends the color.
After FMS sends the color. Back to DJ.
All right, our next question is from Ghost Crab, who asks, what about vision targets?
Excellent question, Ghost Crab. So up here we have, on the player station, we have a target. You can see that's a square. And then up here on the power port, it's this U-looking thing up here as well.
Are there any other reflective targets on the field?
No.
Awesome. All right, back to Blair.
All right. We've got a question from MagmaFool25. Where can you shoot from on the field? Can you do it from anywhere on the field? Jamie?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie. And there's no restriction from where you can shoot. So, for example, if I'm the Red Alliance shooting into that red goal, there's no restriction kind of in this space where you can shoot into your own goal. But I really want to encourage you to read the manual carefully for the details about the other side of the field and where you can shoot from.
Great. DJ?
All right, we have a question that says, in the ball input or the loading bay, the large one, does it have 3 lanes or is it just 1?
So in this top section, there's actually 3 separate locations where the ball can go in.
Gotcha, and then we got the 2 chutes lower.
Correct, the 2 in the lower.
Perfect, back to Blair.
Okay, our question from Little Dragon X. Can you see the wheel colors from underneath the glass?
Yes, so the top of the trench here is clear, so you'll be able to see the colors for the color wheel underneath, or for the control panel underneath. The top color matches the color underneath.
Thank you, Kelly. Back to you, DJ.
All right, we've got a question from Renee5572 that asks, can 3 robots climb?
It's going to be tricky, but 3 robots can fit up there, so you'll have to work with your teams to figure it out.
All right, back to Blair.
Okay, our question just in from Nick Rochelle. How much will a bar swing if a robot is hooked onto it?
So you want to make sure to watch the field tour videos. We have quite a bit of details in that, but it'll come up and hit this hard stop. And again, the bottom corner will be above the robot starting configuration. Exact dimensions are in the manual. But if we just let it swing, it will swing back and forth between the hard stops.
Back to DJ.
All right, we've got Injustice Gaming asking, can 2 robots hang on the same side of the swing?
The robots can hang anywhere they want on the rung. If the 2 robots want to hang on the same side, that is perfectly okay. So they're going to have to work together to figure that out.
And it has to be on this bar?
It has to be on the bar, yes.
Gotcha. All right, back to Blair.
Okay, from Res HQ, do we have to start our robots on the line at the start of the match? Amanda?
Yes, the robots do have to start on their initiation line at the start of each match, which is over there.
DJ?
All right, we've got Eon asking, can we drive through the middle, or do we always have to go underneath the sides?
So during tie-up period, it's free game. You can drive where you need to. Be wary of the height when you're expanding and different things like that.
I also feel like it might be something to consider that these are fairly off the ground.
Absolutely.
So you've got about an inch or so that you have to be able to clear to drive through there regularly?
Absolutely. Their rendezvous point has tons of different places you can catch, and they're all at the same size. So please be wary of that.
Also, back to Blair.
All right, our question is, how are the balls returned to the human player station? Jamie?
Great question, Blair. And we have Kelly and Amanda helping me out, but you can watch. They're going to go into this power port. So, for example, the Red Alliance is going to shoot into this red power port. There's a corral down on the floor in the back. The blue human players will pick up the balls from the corral. And you want to read the manual carefully about how the racks work and when you got to put them in the rack. And then the blue human player will enter the balls through the loading bay through one of the 5 openings that are here.
Question out.
DJ.
We've got a question. How far do the power cells roll out of the loading bay? So, Fiona, could you give us an example of a couple rolls? So it looks like the longest roll is going to go to the first marker on the field. So you've got a pretty decent distance for rolling. Back to you, Blair.
All right, lots of great questions. The next one is, what side of the field do the robots start on?
So the robots will start on the same side as their power port, which is opposite their Alliance station.
So robots start on the opposite side of their driver's station.
Correct.
Fun.
Yeah.
DJ?
All right, the Select Death asks, can you send more than one ball at a time down the loading bay?
So on the loading bay, you'll notice that there's actually holes on each area. Only one ball will fit in a hole at a time. You can, however, put through as many holes as you want. If you want to put 3 in the top, that's perfectly fine.
So you can just, as many as you feel like loading, you can load.
Correct.
Back to you, Blair.
Okay, our question is from L375. How does the light beside the control panel work? Amanda?
So the stack light on top of the trench is here to provide feedback to the teams as they're manipulating the control panel. All those details are in the manual.
So if they're successful, the light activates?
Yes.
Got
the
it.
light will change different states depending on what stage they are in unlocking the stage.
Okay. DJ, back to you.
All right, we've got another question is, essentially, what is the leeway of the scales? Good to see you. So what is the leeway of the scales?
They're pretty close. As you start to, remember, this doesn't function like a teeter-totter, so as you start to go to one side and the other, balances and forces change. So be wary of that, and see the official game drawings for that information.
So they're the same weight, about how close would it be, I guess?
See the official game drawings for that.
All right, back to you, Blair.
All right, thanks, DJ. The question is, can more than one robot manipulate the control panel? Kelly?
Yes, but make sure you check out the game manual for all the information about that zone.
Read the manual. Read the manual.
Read it.
Okay, DJ.
All right. Hawkeye Brown asks, is the color assigned visually shown or just in frame? Is the color assigned visually shown or just in, I can't see the last word of that. No help with my question. I can't read the FMS. There it is.
So they're going to get a color in FMS. It's going to show what they need to actually turn it to.
Okay, perfect. Back to you, Blair.
Our question is, which parts of the generator switch can the robots hang from?
So the robots can hang from the rung, which is this bar, and they can also interact with the handle, which is everything below this crossbar, including these side faces, the center, and the side over there. Just note that there is some safety corners that are on the generator switches, so make sure you check out the drawing and the game manual for that information.
That was our last question, DJ. You got another one over there?
I got one more.
One more, all right.
All right. Somebody asks, can we get a close-up of the color wheel, specifically of the side? So I imagine, of the underside. So we want to see a little bit of down here. We've got our control panel here. We've got our sensor that's right inside of here. And then you've got in your manual, you've got your measurements of how tall this is. So you've got an understanding of how high you need to build your robot to be able to fit through there.
All right.
That was our last question.
That was our last question. That is it from Manchester. A great kickoff here. Good luck to all the teams with Infinite Recharge. Good luck brainstorming. Good luck building. We'll see you in about 7 weeks.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your kickoff.